Out that court is over. The sentence has been imposed, an unconditional discharge. And as we bring in Mark Levin for his commentary on this, Mark, Judge Merchan imposed no jail time, no fine, no punishment that anyone can discern, with the exception that he is now branded Donald Trump with a scarlet letter of a big F on his forehead, that he is a convicted felon.
Hey, yo, thanks for checking out another episode. We finally made it to this point. We finally made it to the end, yo. It took years. They combed through and looked through every little part and aspect of any evidence that they could find, and this is the best that they got. Oh, man, if you don't know, President Trump, who's been run through the ringer by the judicial system, some might say that the weaponized DOJ that Joe Biden has endorsed to go after his political opponent. And the best thing that they could find was a misdemeanor that was trumped up to a felony through a lot of crooked people out there in New York City. A lot of the country was able to see in real time what was going on inside of this courtroom. Even though that they didn't have cameras, we saw the crooked stuff that was happening between Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, and Judge Juan Merchan. And now, 10 days before the inauguration, after Trump's already won the election, which I'm sure that they didn't expect him to, they decide to hand out the sentencing so that forever, well, not really forever, but Trump will be branded as a convicted felon, at least, you know, on all the news stations leading up to the inauguration.
This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. This is a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. CNN said that Paul Ingratian, Alan Dershowitz, they all said this is not a case that should be brought. It's not, think about it, legal expenses are down as legal expenses, and I get indicted for business records. Every damage my reputation so that I'd lose the election, and obviously that didn't work. And the people of our country got to see this firsthand because they watched the case in your courtroom. They got to see this firsthand, and then they voted, and I won and got the largest number of votes by far of any Republican candidate in history, and won, as you know, all 7 swing states, and won the popular vote. And with all that's happening in our country today, with the city that's burning to the ground, one of our largest, most important cities burning to the ground, with wars that are uncontrollably going on, with all of the problems of inflation and attacks on countries and all of the horrible things that are going on, I got indicted over calling a legal expense a legal expense. It was called a legal expense. I just want to say I think it's an embarrassment to New York, and New York has a lot of problems, but this is a great embarrassment. As you know, the DOJ is very much involved in this case. It's because that's the political opponent they're talking about.
I hope that everyone cheering for him to be classified as a convicted felon gets to enjoy their little laugh, because it's not going to be lived very long. He's going to easily appeal it, and any judge and attorney that looks at this, but judge that rules over it and gives them another guilty verdict, it's got to be something more to it. This case should have been dismissed. It should have never gone this far, but they've allowed the American people to see what we thought only took place in third world countries. We didn't think that this was actually taking place in America when they're going to go after somebody this hard just because they're on the other side of the political field. But that's what got President Trump reelected this time. That's why he won the way he did, winning the popular vote, winning all of the swing states. He's going to be released. He doesn't have to pay any fines, no probation, no jail time. So what is the win? Yeah, he's going to be classified as a felon for a few months, maybe if they can get it expedited, maybe a few years going through the slow judicial system, but eventually he will have this case overturned, and then what? All they doing is giving the Trump train more momentum, baby. And Inauguration Day is in 10 days from the recording of this video. Can't wait. Can't wait. it's going to be a glorious 4 years after seeing the hell that we've been through the last 4.
Finality for the goose is finality for the gander.
Yeah.
Final means it's over, which means Merchan doesn't have any jurisdiction over this case anymore. It's the end of Merchan's jurisdiction to tell President Trump anything.
This judge needs to be investigated. Judge Juan Merchan, that wanted to make his political debut. He's just as crooked. Him and Bragg and Letitia James, all of them work together. And I'll even take it a step deeper. This is a whole family affair when it comes to this judge, allegedly. Okay, you have his daughter who was tied up in the campaign trail with Kamala Harris, who ended up being paid by them. Come to find out, also his wife is the assistant of Letitia James. Is it all starting to make sense yet? All of these people are corrupt and dirty. All of this was for show. That's why when all these politicians get up and they say that they're afraid of Trump coming for retribution to go after his political opponents, I don't even care. Now, do I think that he will do that? I don't. Okay, I think that he understands that Biden's doing everything he can to sink the ship on the way out, so he has to actually put his pride aside, put his any thoughts of revenge aside, and deal with what's going on in the country. So I don't believe that. But if they did say he was planning to go after political opponents, I would say, why not? The Democrats say Republicans are guilty of certain things, but it's really them. They're the ones abusing the system. They're the ones with all of the insider corruption, insider trading, if you want to go that far. I'm not saying Republicans aren't, but I'm saying Democrats are more likely to be corrupt. And if this case didn't put that on full display, I don't know what to tell you. Even down to the sentencing, 10 days before the inauguration. I don't think that they actually thought he was going to win the election. But, hey, I'm so happy that this beautiful country decided we needed a change on November 5th. If you made it this far in the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and let me know in the comment section, what do you think about President Trump being officially convicted? All right, the case is closed. He has officially been unconditionally discharged, but will be labeled a felon. Do you think that this was the right outcome? Do you think he was doing 34 felonious activities, falsifying paperwork, so he needed to be served the full extent of the law, which was an unconditional discharge, no fines, no jail time, no probation, no community service, no nothing, no bans on travel, no nothing. This witch hunt lasted 9 years long just for them to what? He walks out of the courtroom, nothing changes. He's actually freer right now than he was yesterday, because yesterday, Judge Merchan had the gag order on him, so he couldn't speak about it. Now he's actually freer. He could tell the public what took place. Juan Merchan banged his gavel and no longer has any authority over President Trump. Now, I hope that this case moves on through the appellate process and is overturned, because I do believe that this was a nothing burger. All right, this is just something that they wanted to do once again to mar the man's name. They decided to do this 10 days before the inauguration for what the people said that we wanted. The people said that we wanted Donald Trump. We're tired of seeing the abuse of power, and that's why he got reelected. And when he decides to do the same thing, don't go crying about it after the fact, okay? Because y'all are all complicit. Y'all are all benefiting from it. In 10 days from the recording of this video, we will have the 47th president inaugurated. And, you know, I just pray that he makes it to Inauguration Day and has a thriving presidency, his term, and he's able to complete it and fulfill all of the promises that he made, which I have no doubt in my mind. I think he has a good team that he's assembling around him. Yeah, Interested to know whatever you're thinking in the comments section. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Till the next video, y'all be safe and stay wavy.
Repetition is the father of learning.